of course, when you're playing against an undead, it's usually an undead of your own level, or perhaps a bit better or a bit worse. But still, there is a limit to what strategies one can perform and what you cannot. So you gotta also adapt your strategy to your skill level. Like it's much better to play standard Demon Hunter Archers Dryad Bear with an Expo and a Panda or a Naga or something than playing Warden like this when you're on a novice level. The strategy of the Demon Hunter will be much more effective than playing like this, because you need a certain level of mastery of a lot of things before this strategy can become a successful strategy or a good strategy. Of course, you can play Warden, but there's, as I mentioned before, there's too many things needed to win a game. And I'm not really saying much about what's happening right now, but it's pretty obvious the Warden is harassing and the Night Elf is creeping at the same time. So I'm just trying to point out the importance of having a good strategy and knowing how to perform it.
Our warriors have engaged the enemy.
Because a lot of players in random team or whatever just go like, hey, I'm doing this, I'm doing this, I'm doing this. They always go by their standard little book, and they don't even account for even what race the opponent is playing or what strategies they might use. And they will go and they go like, I go T3, Mass Griffin, you. I go Mass Griffin, you. Yeah, what the fuck? You're gonna make Mass Griffin against like Elf is not going to work versus Elf. Seriously. Or versus undead. They both go mad. The guy wants to Mass Griffin. There's so much. Seriously, I sometimes ask myself why people with a certain intellect decide to play RT games or RTS games. Honestly, some people just are way too stupid to be playing games like these and beating it. It's seriously really annoying. And Sai is taking this fight right here because we've done a great amount of damage also, and he's creeped this warden to level 5. He's got some awesome items: potion of mana, potion of greater healing, potion of invulnerability. And over here, what he's trying to do at this point, he's trying to take the fight because he's getting an expo ready, and he wants to take out as much fiends as possible. He's basically ignoring the heroes, which you see a lot of the times, that there's going shadow strikes going on. The Death Knight is the main focus of attention. But right now there's level 3 Fan of Knives and level 2 Shadow Strike. Level 3 Fan of Knives deals a shitload of damage to all these Crypt Fiends, and Shadow Strike health finishes them off before the Death Coil kicks in. And Ted only got one Death Coil left, and the anti-magic shell is working. It's a good counter against the Warden because there won't be any spell damage. And well, Sai is deciding to go back because he won't be able to kill any more units. Warden is low on mana, and so on and so on. He should be buying a mana potion again. Yeah, he's bought a mana potion because he's close to level 6, and Avatar of Vengeance costs like a lot of mana, like 150. I don't know the exact number out of my head, but he knows that Ted will be continuing his push, and he will have to defend his X-Plan. And Ted's Death Knight is nearly level 5. Yeah, he's got level 5 right now. Drives give a lot of experience, 60 experience apiece. After a patch which basically made Loris useless against Orc, even more than Talons are. But well, the bear is going to have to be microed away. And what I usually find hard is when you're playing solo hero, it's always hard to decide which items you can take. You gotta keep, which items you shouldn't keep. Right now, Warden is getting a lot of focus, but he managed to survive because of the greater healing potion. Some good items on Sai's hero, and as you can see at this point, Ted is winning the battle basically. But all Sai has to do is run back to his Moonwells, heal up, but perhaps use the Fruit of the Claw, try it. He didn't set his rally point to his Warden. He set it in his base, and well, right now the game is basically lost for Ted. He's got 46 food, but the economy advantage of Sai is kicking in. He can just keep buying items for his Warden. just keep doing this really nice area of effect damage. He's also got his ultimate spell, his Bankai ready, and is dealing lots of damage against Ted's army also, and the Spirits of Vengeance are invulnerable, so Ted won't be able to kill them at all, and they deal quite some decent damage, 17 to 21 damage, which is pretty good. And right now, yeah, Sai just wants to take out the fiends, but you should only switch focus to the heroes in this situation when you feel like you've got a good chance of taking them down, like when the DK is manaless, and you can freely focus fire the Lich, and I think that's what Sai is going to do right here. First going for the Banshees to prevent some more anti-magic shells from going off. Shadow Strike there. Well, unlucky for Ted there that he didn't get the fiend away with the town portal. And rather than the potion of greater healing, Sai bought a potion of healing, and I guess for the items he will go for the just keep the Scourge Bone Charm to Staff of Teleportation, which is always good. He doesn't even need a TP because he knows that Ted will be continuously pushing on this on his expansion over here, and he needs a mana potion for fighting, and he needs a potion of invulnerability as a last resort for saving the hero. So therefore he's decided not to go for an orb, not to go for Staff of Teleportation. I always find it hard to decide which items to keep. But you should always have your, I guess your boots, your staff, your invul pot, and your mana pot at least. And if you're not that experienced or you don't really know what your opponent is doing, you should also get the TP if you're playing aggressively. So choose your items wisely. That's my advice to you guys. It all depends on the situation. In this situation, Sai is in no need of time portal, but he is in need of hero saving items and mana replenishing items because of the high damage output of the spells. And Sai is finally going over upkeep strengths from Dryads, and he's also picked up some mercenaries for this final fight. And still there's the anti-magic shell. He did a fan of knives, but not even a single unit got damage. It only cost Sai a lot of mana, and I think it would be wise for Sai to just wait till the anti-magic shell subsides. And now fan of knives goes, anti-magic shell subsides. He brute forms a bear and then rejuvenates on the warden, which is a good move. He's just moving it back. He doesn't need the warden there in the fight because he can just focus a lot of the fiends with his root of the claw. Once the warden does get back, it will be able to finish off all those units really easily. Staff of Teleportation comes into play over here. Warden, wow, he's too quick with moving it away again, so he didn't teleport in. But there comes the warden. Regardless, he's going for a fan of knives. Bam, Lich will be going down shortly. He's still mana on the Death Knight, so Lich does get a Death Coil on, but he will only have one more, and he will. Sai knows that he's able to chase this one with the Dryads all the way down to the base of Ted, while slowing it with the Shadow Strike. And there's no more mana on the Death Knight. And for more replays, you visit WCReplays.com. And the Lich falls, and Ted is going to call good game. Good game. Yeah, that's the game. So, what did we learn here? Don't try to execute strats that you cannot do. Well, Sai obviously knew how to do it, but still, you shouldn't. And you should, if it's possible, you should creep like that. It's the best. You should creep the Goblin Laboratory like that. It's the best way to creep. And wow, sorry, I got a huge fucking headache attack right now. Are you like someone like a Blade Master critically struck my head? It felt like that. But whatever, we learned that that the Warden is a great hero against undead. The item choice is really essential when you're playing against it, and there are all kinds of little factors when you're playing against undead that you should keep in check. And you shouldn't just be simply going for one thing or moving your units in one way altogether. on the Echo Isles game, we saw that you should split